The Rittenhouse trial continues to undergo deliberation. It is insane to me that we are still deliberating about this case. I say we, I mean the jury. This case is the most clear-cut case of self-defense I have ever seen in my life. But the judge yesterday correctly blasted the media for their misinformation about the trial. Here's what the judge had to say.
Some of the other misinformation about the case that is widespread, and you gentlemen are as aware of it as I am. Now they had some people in the Milwaukee Journal, I think I read it, said it was odd, I think was the word, that I didn't rule on the motion to dismiss. I haven't even had a chance to read the motion to dismiss. I just got it yesterday, and I really think before I rule on a motion, I should let the state respond. So why anyone would think that it's odd for the judge to sit on a motion to dismiss, I have no idea.
Okay, so the media coverage in the case has been absolutely bizarre. He is exactly right about that, and politically driven. Well, yesterday, the prosecution ran directly into a buzzsaw because it turns out that the prosecution handed over a badly pixelated version of the drone footage. You remember there was drone footage of the first shooting of Joseph Rosenbaum by Kyle Rittenhouse. And it turns out that the prosecution had that for a long time, and finally when they turned it over, it was a badly pixelated version of the video. According to Breitbart, the dispute involved several videos, especially a high-definition video the prosecution used in closing arguments on Friday, but which had not been provided to the defense, which received only a low-res version. The defense moved for a mistrial Tuesday on that basis. ADA John Krause told the judge the prosecution had not intentionally withheld video evidence from the defense, but there was an accidental compression involved in moving video between iPhone and Android devices. The person who took the footage, according to Krause, had earlier provided it to Rittenhouse's former attorney, John Pierce, who had shown it last year on the Tucker Carlson show on Fox News. When it was emailed to the defense, there was a compression, he said, which had not been deliberate. He said he had no idea how to compress the files. The defense countered the files appeared to be different, and the metadata accompanying the video appeared different. The defense also said the video provided to Tucker Carlson was different as it was black and white. The prosecutor's video was in color. That had not been the problem, but rather the superior quality of the prosecution's video. Defense lawyer Mark Richer said, "At this point, Your Honor, they've not requested what we're fighting about." "You're correct," the judge replied. Earlier on Wednesday, the jury did send a question to the judge about whether it would be permitted to review video evidence in the courtroom or in private. So that came in late yesterday afternoon. Okay, so the prosecutors tried to claim that it was just a technical glitch. The defense said that this video evidence was compressed by the prosecution and passed over to them in order to deceive them, which wouldn't be a shock because there have been serious evidentiary questions throughout. Here is the defense making that argument.
The one that was provided to the state's crime lab that Attorney Binger gave me a copy of on Saturday had a very long, convoluted title that involves lots of letters and numbers that are the type that are usually associated with files taken from a drone because they indicate a lot of different information like the location of the drone and the time. The file I received originally on Friday the 5th was not labeled that same and was not the same file amount. There's no way that what ADA Krause is saying is true because the file name would not have changed if my computer was compressing anything. It was a different file that we were provided from what was provided to the state, at least for what Attorney Binger gave me on Saturday. They're completely different.
Okay, meanwhile, the prosecution admitted there was a technical glitch, but they said it was just a technical glitch, no biggie. The defense, by the way, is arguing that one of the reasons the prosecution did this is because they were looking for a mistrial, because this is going so badly for them.
I think we're focusing on too heavily on, I guess, a technological glitch, and less on and we should be focusing that this exhibit was played. The jury is asking to see exhibits that they have seen. They didn't know about this video. They've tried to find it just as we did. We found it, and there was a technological glitch. Or not a glitch, but I guess it worked in a way that is designed that we were not aware of. And I do not believe a technical reality, shall we say, or an unknown technical incident should result in a mistrial.
Yeah, sure. Okay, meanwhile, the media continue their habit of drawing the most bizarre narratives out of this case. Farhad Manjoo, who somehow has finagled a column at the New York Times, which is amazing because truly there is a running battle between the members of the New York Times editorial board about which one of them is the worst columnist. Farhad Manjoo is definitely near the top of the list. I think it goes like Charles Blow, Paul Krugman, Farhad Manjoo, but he's climbing the list each and every day. He had a piece yesterday in which he argued that the big problem in the Kyle Rittenhouse case was the gun, not the people rioting in the streets attacking the guy with the gun, the gun. According to Farhad Manjoo, the lead prosecutor, Thomas Binger, offered a meticulously documented closing argument that deftly summarized all the ways Rittenhouse acted unlawfully. We'll see if the jury buys it, but to me, Binger's argument had a power beyond this case. That's because it cleverly unraveled some of the foundational tenets of gun advocacy, that guns are effective and necessary weapons of self-defense. Well, I'm not sure how that was unraveled, considering that Rittenhouse would probably be dead today, or at the very least in a coma in a hospital, if he had not had a gun. He says that without them, lawlessness and tyranny would prevail. Lawlessness and tyranny did prevail in Kenosha, Wisconsin. And that in the hands of the good guys, guns promote public safety rather than destroying it. Well, I mean, they do. There just weren't enough guns there in the hands of the good guys. There's one good guy with a gun, Kyle Rittenhouse in this particular case, up against an entire riotous mob, one of whom was a child molester trying to attack him, another of whom was a convicted criminal who was trying to attack him with a skateboard, and a third of whom was approaching him with his own gun. But says Farhad Manjoo, in the Rittenhouse case, none of that was true. At every turn that night, Rittenhouse's AR-15 style semi-automatic rifle made things worse, ratcheting up danger rather than quelling it. The gun transformed situations that might have ended in black eyes and broken bones into ones that ended with corpses in the street. Well, whose fault is that? The people attacking the guy with the gun or the guy with the gun? But, the left must have its narratives. So we'll continue to keep an eye on the jury in that particular case. Honestly, I'm shocked they still have not come back in at this point. We're in a battle for the culture and for our values. Like and subscribe to help keep our videos on the front line of the fight and top of your feed.